Greetings, warriors! My name's Pretty, and welcome back to the last episode. What? But there's two more places, aren't there? For Resplendent reviews? I'm putting two of them together because they're short. Feels wrong to just put them out into short videos. So they're combined for these two. And plus it makes sense because, they're in the same book. As usual, for the last time, I will be talking about my general spiel and let you know how these Resplendent reviews work. One, these are my personal opinion, not fact. I'm sorry if I offend you, but these are my opinions. It's great if you like somebody that I dislike. I'm happy for you. Seriously, I am. I want people to find their enjoyment in the Fire Emblem art as much as they can. These are my opinions, and I like talking about my opinions, and people like watching my opinions for some reason. And two, I'm not talking about the art style or how much the art improved. As fun as a video as that would be, that seems kind of exhausting. So I'm gonna try to make sure the art doesn't take into account, in the scoring blank. And three, how well did the designs fit? In this case, we got two realms we're talking about. Ooh, you can already tell which ones they are from the title, but, Let's dive into our first of the last two worlds we'll be talking about, and that is Niðavellir! Hey, I can actually say that one. I don't know why, but I can. For Niðavellir, I personally find their aesthetic to be very interesting, because if you look at all of the siblings, I know Eitri technically fits into Niðavellir, but I feel like she's such an outlier that it feels wrong to incorporate her because she's on the edge of Niðavellir, if I'm remembering right. So it feels weird to count her as Niðavellir. So, regardless of that, I appreciate that they don't do gold. I appreciate that their color is a lot more bronzy. It's a light bronze, but it's bronze. Finally, something that isn't gold. A lot of black being featured, with pops of white and an feature color. So Reagan has a lot of this pale, dusty purple, whereas O-tier has the plum, and then Fafnir has yellow as his pop of color. And I appreciate that. It kind of gives a little bit of a superhero type vibe where all of them have the same general design and then they have the pop of color to add them as unique. I think it's really cool. The most important thing for Niðavellir designs, in my opinion, is the bodysuit armor and a slender silhouette. They all have this bodysuit armor that is very tight and form-fitting, except in some areas like in Odyr's pants, but other than that, very slender, connected to the body. And generally their silhouette is very slender, very nice and kept. If you compared their silhouettes to say Muspel or just pretty much any of the other realms, they're a lot more slender. They do have their capes and they do have moments where their silhouette pops out, but generally very slender. With that in mind, let's go into our Niðavellir characters. First to bat is Brave Ike. Why are you a Resplendent? Your art was already great before. I have questions, but that's not the video for this right now. Our video is talking about the actual design. He's got the bodysuit armor, at least as his top. His design isn't very slender because his cape is big. He's got big cape. I feel like there's too much white in his design and then not enough black. He's got also a lot more armor than Niðavellir designs tend to have. His shoulder armor is very big and very bulky, but compare it to, say, Fafnir's metal armor, his armor is a lot more slender in appearance. Also, he's got big, bulky boots, which doesn't seem to very fit well with Niðavellir. It's just too much color for Niðavellir. If you were to line up all of the Reagan and her siblings and then throw Ike in, you'd be like, he doesn't fit here, does he? He doesn't fit. I wish that instead of having the sash around his waist, it was metal armor there, similar to how Reagan has it. Not as form-fitting and tight as Reagan's, but something similar to that instead of the scarf stuff. Also, I think it would have been great if his boots were more slender and you could see more of his body armor on his legs. With that, I'm gonna give him a 5 out of 10. Merrick! When I first saw Merrick, I was like, oh, is he Asker? Oh, no, he's Niðavellir? What? His design, it's okay. I'm not a personal fan of the design, but his design does not fit with what Niðavellir is. His silhouette is very big, very bulky. He's got a tall hat, wide shoulders, and a very long cape. He doesn't have enough balance of color. He is very, very blue, very, very purple. You barely can see the black through his design, and that's a very key part of what Niðavellir is, in my opinion. Honestly, just take away some of the gear aspects, add in some of the patterns you would see from Asker, and just throw him in Asker, honestly. He does not fit Niðavellir, in my opinion. So I'm going to give him a 1 out of 10. There's so many things that are wrong with his design to fit into Niðavellir. Our last and final world is the Land of the Giants. Similar to the fairies, I've tried saying it. It does not work. I cannot pronounce things. So I'm just gonna call them the Giants because that's what they are. They're giant ladies. Their color palettes feature a lot more white than Niðavellir does, with accents of black, a lot of red, and silver. Yay for not having gold. So many of them have gold. Important features. I'm not counting the birds as part of the, giant aesthetic because they're giant birds, and I think they're only attached to the 2 characters that we've got, Knot and Dagger. So I'm not counting them as a necessary requirement for the Giants design. Besides that, big things to keep in mind is they both have headgear, kind of evoking a crown, but not really. It's more of a warrior type aesthetic. They got minimal patterns on their body. They got long cloaks, and they have minimal clothing, let's just say. It's more like workout wear instead of, other wear, in my opinion. Those are the big things. We only have one currently for the Giants, so let's just dive into Amelia. Why the orange? Why the orange? It feels so out of place with the orange. I appreciate that she's got the red cape. It's great. She very much has that feeling of wearing workout clothes. But the orange is very wrong, in my opinion. Her silhouette's a lot more bulky than the sisters that come from the giant place. But I get it, she's supposed to be an armored unit, so she has a lot more bulk to her, which is fine. I think it's just the yellow that bothers me. Or, well, yellowish orange. I wish it was just white. I think it would have done a lot better just being white. And maybe making her leggings white instead to create more of a balance of colors. That's pretty much the only real big problem I see that fits with the Giants design. Personally, I hate the little armor underneath her boobs. Like, how do you sit? How do you bend? That's gotta poke your tummy all of the time. Ouchie. Personal opinions aside, I think it's really close to fitting with the design aesthetic. I keep saying it again, I just wish it was white instead of this orangey yellow. I'm going to give her a 6 out of 10. Bump it up to a 7 out of 10, actually. I'm just trying to envision it white right now, and I think it looks better. You know, blah. And with that concludes our Resplendent reviews. I know this mini-series has been kind of long. Yeah, it's been a little long. I really appreciate everybody who's been watching it so far. As I've said previous episodes, these all have been pre-recorded, so I have no idea how well they're doing. But I really sincerely appreciate every single view, every single comment, every single like. It just means so much to me that people actually like hearing me talk about things that I like. It's a little weird for me to get used to. And unfortunately, I don't have a favorite from these three. I know that's bad. But hey, who's your favorite of these three? Please let me know. I'd love to hear your opinions. With that, that's the end of Resplendent reviews. Any future Resplendent heroes will have a full review like Raven does, where I'll occasionally bring up stuff that I've mentioned in these past series. And yeah, seriously, thank you guys so much. Oh, man, this has been a ride. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. Keep fighting your battles, and I will see you next time. Toodaloo!